I was aware of what was happening in San Francisco. I was aware of that thing that seemed to be starting at that time. Young people my age forming bands, writing their own material, and several people that I knew had gravitated to San Francisco Bay Area to be a part of that musical thing that started probably in 65, 66, 67. And I had a friend whose brother was in the Jefferson airplane. Jorma Kalkinen's brother was living in Stockholm some of the time, and he was coming back and forth between San Francisco, and he was bringing back records.
Peter, is that his name?
Peter, yeah.
Peter, yeah.
Right. And so I was aware of what was going on, and some of my friends who I had gravitated out there. Steve Miller had gravitated out there. He lost one of his band members in 1967, a guitar player, singer named Curly Cook, and Steve needed a replacement. Steve called my parents, or got in touch with my parents, and found out that I was in Stockholm, and sent me a note offering me a round trip plane ticket to come to San Francisco and Little Doe and see if I wanted to be in the band.
Right.
And I took him up on it. I came to San Francisco, and in the September of 1967, after the Summer of Love and the big summer of, I came back in what I call it was beginning to be the winter of discontent.
Right. So you get it on the very end of it.
The very end of it. But it was still popping. I mean, San Francisco and the Avalon and the Fillmore and the bands were first. It was when the airplane and the Dead, were they early?
Dead were around.
Yeah, they were around, but I think they might have gotten a record contract. The bands are starting to get record contracts and starting to become national and international acts, and that was the time when I
everybody got signed.
That was all the record companies came swooping in. They were seeing that was what was going to happen. So it was an exciting time in San Francisco. It was amazing.
What are the most amazing bills that you remember playing on during that time?
I don't remember playing on. I did play. It was the Miller Band was a fixture of on the scene. We played. We're on all the posters are there, and that was it. I just remember who I saw at that time.
Who did you see?
Gosh, everybody. I mean, I saw Ravi Shankar, and I saw John Coltrane and John Mayall again, and the British bands, and I saw the Doors for the first time. They were big. They were already, but they came to play in Winterland, and I remember being just stoned, knocked out by what they were doing, and Janice is everywhere, and the Quicksilver's everywhere, the Dead's everywhere, and Airplanes rarely in town. They were traveling everywhere, but everything was accessible, and that's all you did every night.
And you got these really wild mixes of
I mean, I think between Chet Helms and the Avalon Ballroom and Bill Graham and the Fillmore Auditorium, were just these amazing creative bills. And
really, really different in terms of the genre mix that those guys would do, especially Graham, I think. Yeah.
And there was a lot of cross-pollination, if you want to call it, at that time.
Right.
So jazz is bleeding into, there was Indian influence music, and the Chicago blues is getting intermixed with everything, of course. And R&B and Otis Redding's coming around, and Buddy Miles and Buddy Guy and Junior Wells and the Chicago guys are all there, and the Texas people are coming out, and Doug Sahm is coming out.
Now, when did you meet Doug Sahm? Was he in Texas or out here?
No, it was I met him in San Francisco.
Okay.
Yeah, he came to town for a few times, and
So
and I was really.
You guys were pretty good.
We got to
friends.
be. We got to be. Used to seeing each other, and I was enormously influenced and a huge fan of Doug's.
Right.
Doug really did something that nobody else of my generation. I won't say that because I think of the Chicago guys of Butterfield and Bloomfield.
Right.
They really took on that genre and started bands, influenced a lot of people.
Right. They sure
pulled
did.
a lot of those elements together.
Yeah.
But Doug did the same thing with the sort of Texas and Tex-Mex, the Mexican influence from Southern California, Arizona, San Antonio, and pulled in the Bobby Blands and the sophisticated rhythm and blues stuff that was going around.
Yeah, he was very, very well rounded in terms of what he
was on the edge. He was learning. I mean, he was
Yeah.
really learning on it. Doug could arrange horns. He was became a very good horn arranger just because he wanted to duplicate, wanted to learn that stuff. So he pulled together a lot of those.
Well, I understood you kind of got the horn idea from seeing him.
Probably. I mean, I got the horn idea when I saw Ray Charles.
Well, yeah, but
and,
I mean,
and a lot of the bands. And that's
Yeah.
that's when I, sort of reified it in my own mind. I saw someone in my own age. I'm trying to think of other horn bands that were around at the time, and nothing comes to me off the top of my head. But Doug really had a